Hey my friends, how do you bring the joy back into life? I want to share with you 4 main ideas that I've used in my life, and I've also used it in my coaching practice when people needed to find the joy and the juice in order to pursue their mission on the planet, in order to see how great the life is that we're living in. So first off, if you're not feeling the joy, your life is probably like this. Blah. Right? I mean, it's definitely not the energy that you're seeing being transferred through the camera screen into your house right now. You might even be thinking, this guy's a little bit too much. But I want to share with you those 4 main ideas and at the very least try them out. So number 1 is, and you're not going to like what I'm about to say right now, but when I wasn't joyful, when I was in a period of incredible sadness or gloom, I was very selfish. Like, I was only focused on my problems and what the world wasn't giving me. And I was criticizing the world. And I wanted to be right, mind you. So, I'd find ways to reinforce that position by blaming other people, by complaining, by judging individuals, by feeling guilt and shame and blame and all that stuff, right? And what I was doing was I was focusing on my own small microcosm. And so what we need to do to get past that is to become more selfless. And so the first of the 4 main ideas is to start focusing on your purpose. What were you sent to this planet to do? And if you don't necessarily know what that is, that's okay. At least realize this, that every person that I've ever worked with in terms of purpose and finding their mission, it has always been in contribution. We feel connected through contribution. And that contribution can be to a global cause. It can be to another individual or a group of them. It could be to animals. So when we get back to that sense of, I am bigger than just me, and I have a bigger purpose here on this planet, and it is to help other people. Well, that's when we start feeling a little bit more connected. And in so doing, we start feeling like we have this fulfilling purpose, this mission that gives us the opportunity to walk up to other individuals and to radiate that energy. So much so that they start to feel joyous. And it infects us as well. Before you know it, you start laughing with another individual. Number one is start focusing on your purpose. If you don't necessarily know what it is, start trying different things out. And do the work to go out and find that purpose. Do the research. There's people all over the place. I do that. And so by all means, go and find that purpose, live it, and share it with other individuals. But if you're not there, I'll give you 3 other ones that are just as powerful and impactful. Number 2 is start looking for the smile. Everywhere there are people that are smiling. But when I wasn't joyous, here's the way I filtered my entire world through that emotional experience. And so when I did see a smile, I thought it was a lie. I thought it was bullshit. And so the only thing that was bullshit was my own limited perspective, my own selfish perspective of the world. When I got out of that, I realized, oh my God, where was I living? And it's the same thing that I used to do with when I was, my coaching practice used to be much more toward relationships. And so let's say a woman got a bad breakup and she'd say, all men are assholes. Well, no, that's bullshit. Right? So what she needed to do was get out there and start appreciating men and seeing, well, there are good men. There's men that would help an old lady cross the street or, maybe give their change to a homeless person. There are good examples out there, and you can waken that up by first appreciating it. And so the same here. We're in this place where you don't necessarily feel the joy. Feel the joy by looking at individuals that are doing great things. Help your fellow man. Take out some money and give it to a person in need. That's the quickest way for you to find a smile, is giving another person an opportunity to smile as well. And so start looking for people that are smiling. The little kid that just bought the ice cream, that was just given the change and got the ice cream, or they're petting the dog. Look for that smile. Fill yourself up with all those moments that are around us. And soon you'll be the one filling up the person that doesn't necessarily feel joyous tomorrow. And the third one is to start looking at the small steps of progress. Oftentimes when we're not joyous is because we have this dream or this big vision perhaps, but we're not necessarily moving toward it at the pace that we expect. Right? And so we're looking out, we're projecting this thing out in the future, and we haven't taken the important step of breaking it down to the today, to the here and now, to touch that dream just a little bit today, right? And so it doesn't necessarily have to be some massive thing, but maybe just the small ways that you progress, that you can be better than yesterday, or at the very least last week or last month, right? So if you haven't made your bed all last year, well, maybe today you start, right? And that little tiny thing, it doesn't have to be a massive thing, that little tiny thing will have you feeling progress. And in the progress is the joy, right? So that's number 3. And the fourth one is, and this is the one that I feel comes up very often for people. I wouldn't say the most, probably the most is the purpose one, but this one happens probably second to that, is forgive. Forgive and let go. You know, if we want to be limited in terms of our life, if we do not want to experience liberation and the full extent of our energy and power and purpose, well, then just hold on to old things. You know, don't forgive the person that wronged you. Don't forgive yourself for having not pursued your goals and gotten them completed. You know, beat yourself up. Judge other individuals. That's not going to bring the joy, though. That's not going to bring the happiness. That's not going to bring a smile to your face, or much less anybody else's that's around you. So for you to bring the joy is to forgive, is to let go, is to move on. Because in so doing, it gives you the opportunity now to say, okay, what can I do? You know, how can I contribute? How can I see the smile? You know, because they're all around you. But if you're locked into that moment in the past and then you're getting back into the selfish zone, and that's a place that I've been, and I've been there for years, let me tell you. So I can promise you that once you forgive, once you let go, it doesn't mean that what somebody did to you or what happened was right. It just means that you're not willing for it to imprison you any longer. You're going to feel liberated. You're going to feel joyful. It's going to give you purpose. It's going to give you meaning. And it's going to give you the opportunity to connect through contribution and see more smiles. So I hope this moved you. Please just do me 2 favors. If it's something that really did move you, comment down below. I'd love to know what you think. And number 2, please share it. There's somebody out there that you know just isn't feeling the joy. And they might be navigating to your Facebook page, your Instagram, your social media of some sort, and them seeing this particular episode is something that could really completely move them, make them come alive, and you'd see the joy in who they actually are once again. So I love you, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.